Good evening, Bears fans. It's a rarity this year. It's a Victory Wednesday. Good evening to all. Welcome with me tonight, of course, Woody. Good evening, Woody. We got Bear fan Dan.
Evening.
Mike, the Bear fan, is here, and Bear fan Mike is on the way. So, gentlemen, we got a win on Monday night. What is it with this team and nationally televised games? We've won 3 of our last 4 nationally televised, but if it's not on national television, it seems to be another story, doesn't it?
Yeah. Too bad we don't have any more primetime games the rest of the year.
Yeah, we are done with prime time unless we get flexed, which could happen depending on playoff races. You know, the Packers are still in. There we go. There's Bear Down Mike in from the shopping at Walmart with the wife. Surprised he made it home in time. I expected him to be gone for at least 4 more hours. Evening, Mike.
Evening, guys.
So we had the win on Monday Night Football, the stats. So, okay, we know the main stat line, the score. But when you look at this, I mean, now granted, a lot of their yards, they got some in the fourth quarter, but we dominated every aspect of this game.
Yes, we did.
And to win with such a low score, I mean, look at the time of possession. God, I mean, this game shouldn't even been close, right? So, you know what? It's like another game with, look at some good things here. Multiple turnovers. We had 4, right? We got 4. The Bears D is starting to look legit. The offense, though, off turnovers, 3 points. 3 freaking points. That's it. Dan, I know you watched the game. I mean, we all watched the game. But, Dan, I mean, what was your feel watching the game on Monday?
Glad that we won, of course. You know, it was Eberflus's first divisional win in what, 9? It was the 9th try.
9 games, yeah.
You know, would have been nice to score a touchdown or 2, but at least we got down the field.
Well, I know.
Kick the field goals.
Well, you know, and that's a great segue because we know Woody's happy because his boy, Cairo Santo, for the first time, you know, for 3 or 4 years now, he's like, the winner will be by. Well, Woody, it happened. I know you were ecstatic from that.
Yeah, and plus he missed that one that could have been big on our part.
Yep.
But, yeah, the offense, 3 points off 4 turnovers. It kept Minnesota in the game. Our defense played phenomenal. I mean, I was picking them on all year. Jalen Johnson is my stud of the game. He had a hell of a game. But he's got to be consistent. It can't be every 3-4 games that he does this. He was all over the field, involved in mostly, you know, probably at least half of the turnovers. Plus, he dropped another one that could have been a pick 6. And you know, Sweat with another sack. I mean, that trade is looking better and better every week. But our offense has got to throw more screen passes. I wasn't happy, but we had what 20, at least 25.
26.
Yeah, we got we at least have 30 screen passes to get a touchdown.
I don't think Home Depot has that many screens.
Nope.
Yeah, and with Santos, you know what's funny? I said this to my son, and Bear Fan Mike, thank you, Adrian. Heard this when watching the game. Santos, when he missed that first one, it's like this is the second time I've seen him miss his first field goal attempt in a dome this season. Because the other time, a game that I was at, and he did the same thing. He pushed it. And I don't know what's with him in the dome, but after that, I'm like, okay, he's going to be good the rest of the game. But for whatever reason, that first kick in the dome this year has been like, I don't know. I mean, it was one of those games, bear down, Mike. I mean, screen pass, like you said, what, 28, 30 of them? Does Luke Getsy know how to do anything else?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Does Getsy know how to do anything besides the screen pass?
A halfback dive, but you're running back.
The look at them screen passes, he doesn't know how to call a screen either.
No. He doesn't know how to call him. We signed Mercedes Lewis to block. Why aren't we using him to help throw the deep ball or something in the middle of the field?
Well, we look at Fields, look at his numbers. I mean, not bad, right? 27 for 37. 200. I can't believe he got 217 yards. Of course, that includes Yak. 59 yards rushing with the 2 fumbles, which, certain Bears fans are like, oh my God. Well, dude, you get the helmet on the ball 9 times out of 10, the runner's coughing up. And I think that happened pretty much with both fumbles. But when it counted, he threw an absolute dagger to DJ. And DJ, I can't believe, with all the screens, 11 catches for 114 yards, puts him over the 1,000-yard mark, which Bears, when was the last time we had a 1,000-yard receiver? I guess Mooney.
Mooney. 2 years ago.
But it's like, you've got Mooney, you've got Moore. The rushing wasn't really, 16 carries for 59 yards. I mean, so you take their 16 carries, you take Fields 12, so they had 30 run plays, but not all 30 were called. It makes me wonder, what's wrong with this offense. I think, to me, and most Bears fans, I would think we would all agree the defense is going the way we like it to go, but it's like the offense has been stuck in the mud almost the entire season.
Well, also, I'm surprised that on that last drive is that the Minnesota defense was playing like us, like we're playing with the lead, and then play that soft defense. They did not rush at all that last drive, which shocked the shit out of me, because if they would have brought some pressure, you got to think Minnesota's number 1 in the league in pressures. And I'm surprised they didn't pressure that last drive to, hurt us. And, and obviously what happened was Moore was wide open on that, 37-yard pass, 32 or whatever. And
the longest play of the entire game.
Yep, that won us the game.
Yeah, they pressured Justin 57% of his snaps.
None on that.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
Well, I mean, and Dan, I mean, we saw so many screens. Even my son, who plays high school ball, was acquainted to his high school football team. Do you think we have the talent to go more vertical?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. We didn't see Tyler Scott didn't get one pass.
Thank God.
Mooney had a couple. It was DJ Moore, Matt, and Roshan.
Yeah, and that. Oh man, that's and Justin Fields is probably kicking himself in the ass on that overthrow to Mooney. He was wide open.
Mooney got nailed.
Yeah, he did.
It's kind of hard to overthrow Mooney, and I think Tyler Scott. I know my son likes Tyler Scott a lot as a young receiver, but after the stutter step miss in the Lions game, I can also understand the hesitancy to maybe go to him in a big situation right now. We've seen them try to go to different receivers, but it seems that Getsy can't get comfortable with any kind of consistency or play calling outside of a screen and trying to get yards after catch. Because I get it, that DJ Moore is like, that's one of his things, right? But he can also go vertical, and I don't understand why Luke Getsy, when he's scheming this offense, isn't going vertical more, going past 10, 15 yards, because the offensive line is buying him the time. So, I mean, Woody, when you're watching this, I know you pay attention to the offensive line. To me, the offensive line is doing the job. Am I wrong?
Well, yeah, they're definitely doing a job. I mean, on Monday, it could have been a lot better rush blocking. We couldn't do anything really rushing with Herbert or Johnson, but pass blocking, yeah, it's I think it was up there last year because they were 9th in the league in having the pocket presence with Fields and stuff like that. I think it was like 3.9 seconds or something like that, or something like that. I don't know, but
isn't this like 3.3 this year? Something
like that, yeah. So and then the one game he had the I forget. I think it was like week 2 or week 3. He had on 2 plays in that game. He had like 6 seconds to pass the ball, and he decided to run. So that's obviously coverage and stuff. But I think our offensive lineman, and it sucks that Jenkins was hurt. You got taken out.
Because nobody wanted to see Cody.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I think they're gelling. I think, I really don't. Maybe in the late rounds, maybe we'll get an offensive lineman, maybe, but they got to gel together, and I think that's what they're doing.
You don't think they'll get one in the first round with their pick?
No, we're getting a quarterback. Remember?
Oh God.
So I'm dealing with the barking hordes over here. That's why I've been muting myself. But I mean,
that is pointless because you get DJ Moore for 1 year with Justin. He's a 1,000-yard receiver. How about we get him another guy? Maybe we have 2 wide receivers with 1,000 yards.
Yep.
You got to get an offensive coach that knows what the hell he's doing.
And I believe in John,
guys. We have a John Dorn sighting. Hold on.
He's I've thought of this too. I thought of this too. With all those screen passes that Getsy doesn't trust him at all, or the trust is down. That's why
he doesn't know how to beat the blitz.
But I mean, he delivers an absolute dagger when it counts the most. I mean, we've seen all season that Fields can do just that, and he can deliver the ball. I think a lot of it's just Getsy's not that creative, like with his routes for his receivers. He's trying to do this yard after the catch, dink and donkey kind of stuff, which has been a Bears hallmark, whoever the OC, for like the last 9 years. Cutler was the last guy who used to try to go vertical. I mean, because even Trubisky did a little bit now and then, but I mean, consistently it was Cutler. I don't get the consistent play calling because they're still packing the box. They are still packing the box. Even when the run game's going, we don't give them a reason not to put 8 in the box. So, I mean, he doesn't use play action effectively. He's so predictable. Like all of us can watch a Bears game and go, yeah, it's going to be a run. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a screen. And we'd be right 90% of the time. We'd all be like Tony Romo on the TV.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my God, you guys know what – because the coordinator who came from Green Bay, where he obviously wasn't doing much because Aaron did it all himself. Aaron, I mean –
that's the smartest thing you said, John.
Yeah, John's on the ball tonight, boy.
Ooh.
Yeah. Getsy needs to go now. Now, there's some coaches available now. Like Frank Reich is available. I think Reich might be a guy. They fire Getsy, bring Reich in. Does anyone here think Flus is going to lose the gig after this year?
Oh man, I mean, with him calling defense, I mean,
he's fighting for his job.
Yeah,
he's a great DC. He just sucks at the podium. Yep. His decision making. Maybe he needs that experienced offensive coordinator who was a head coach like Frank Reich to help him make with those decisions.
But do you know? I heard this too. Frank Reich, when he was released, he's going to make $25,000 a day for the next 3 years.
Wow. If you're drafting a quarterback, let's say they decide to move on from Justin, then you need whole new coaches.
Yes,
I don't think they're moving on from Justin. I think we've all seen enough to understand. The people who say we're moving on from Justin are your clickbaiters, because that's all that crap is clickbait. I don't think there's any scenario under which right now we get rid of Justin Fields unless he is Josh Dobbs, but 10 times worse, because he's not putting up interceptions. He's not putting up bad balls.
No.
The fumbles you look at, like, okay, helmet hits, dude, you're losing 90% of those. I mean, those are just unfortunate that they happened when they happened, but at the same time, those are balls that are going to get fumbled on helmet hits. I don't know, Mike, do you think, we're going to see the Bears draft the quarterback, or is this just lunacy?
I don't think so. I think we're going to get a new offensive coordinator personally. And the only reason Eberflus, if he does save his job, is because he is doing a good job with that defense.
And John Dorn did say another smart thing that I thought at the beginning of the year when Getsky sucks is like, yes, I would love Ben Johnson.
I don't know, because he's been working with Jared. Jared's not a mobile quarterback.
No.
Do we think he can do this with Justin? Is he going to treat him like Getsy's treating him right now, a pocket quarterback?
I think the last Fields interception, correct me if I'm wrong, might be the
Denver game.
Tampa Bay game.
No, it was a Denver.
Well, you got
that with the last few minutes, he threw that interception.
You got to think he was hurt, so might have been early.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say the stat that I heard that was phenomenal. I couldn't believe it, even though they're two different positions between Justin Fields and this prediction. It was with Walter Payton. In his career, he fumbled 86 times. The best, I think he's still the best running back, even though Emmitt Smith played 3 more years than he did with the rushing record. I don't give a shit about that. But 86 times in his career, Walter Payton fumbled the ball. And when I saw that, I was like, wow. So that was the stat that I wanted to say.
You know how many times Justin fumbled the ball?
87 times.
Is it 87?
No,
it was like 35. 35 times. 35 games, 35 fumbles.
So he's averaging 1 a game. He's consistent. That's good.
He's consistent. I mean, and look at though. I mean, like, you know, I think the fumbles will go down as he is not. I don't think we'll see as many the scramble runs if the play calling gets better. I think with the new OC, you'll still see him run, but because every mobile quarterback who's like Justin gets the fumbles or has that issue, right? If it's not balanced. And with the fumbles from this week, I mean, I'm not going to excuse Justin, but they weren't necessarily Justin's fault. Like he did bad stuff. Defense made good plays. You put a helmet on the ball like that, the helmet on the ball is a little luck there on that tackle. But I mean, dude, that's a ball that 9 times out of 10 is coming out, and he had the ball protected. Now, the first fumble was a little bit like maybe ill-advised the run.
Yeah, he ran right into Darnell Wright.
Yeah, that was him.
Like that, I would fault him for that. The actual losing possession, the hit was just defense made the right hit the ball just right. I don't care if it's Roshan or if it's King Henry or whoever. 9 times out of 10, those balls are coming out. But because he's the quarterback, we blow it up on a bigger screen than if it was, say, a running back or, you know, a wide receiver or someone else. I mean, lucky the defense bailed him out, and then he was able to win us the game.
Yeah. The narrative is going to be Justin turns over the ball every game. That's what the narrative is. He can't throw downfield. That's what everybody's saying. You know who in the media pisses me off the most? And it's not Colin Cowherd. It is Shady McCoy. That guy pisses me off.
Well, he played in Philly. That's why. He's dumb.
Yeah, thank you.
But did you guys see it in the locker room? He did say it was his fault.
Yeah.
And they backed him up. They praised him. I saw Ryan Poles hugging him too.
Yep. That's good.
When I look at the media, and you know, during the game, I was like, why are they not talking about Getsy? We've talked about Getsy every week for the last 5-6 weeks down the play calling. Every time you hear the media talk, it's Justin. It's like, dudes, even like on the show Monday, well, you know, the Bears could always draft Caleb Williams. Everybody who watches anything knows we're not going to do it, right? So why do they keep saying, why don't they say what the reality is? Well, I get it. They don't want to talk about coaches unless it's the head coach. But, I mean, the reality is Fields is going nowhere. Like, everyone who follows this team and has any degree of football IQ, even if they're not even a Bears fan, I think, in the North especially, they know we're going out for Marvin Harrison Jr. Everyone knows it. So, you know, with that, let's just do some studs and duds because obviously Mike wants me to do it. So, and I'll go to Mike first. Mike, we already know who Woody's stud is, so don't copy him. Who's your stud and who's your dud?
No, he already said his stud. I'm not going to copy him. I'm going to say the dud first. You guys said it a couple times. We've talked about it for weeks. The play calling is terrible in my view. But the studs is basically the whole defense. I mean, we had 4 interceptions, 2 sacks, which a sack and a half came from Sweat, the other one from Brisker. So I'm going to say the defense kept us in that game for sure because the offense did get down there, but we got to score some touchdowns, not just field goals.
Yep.
Bear down, Mike. Who's your stud? Who's your dud?
My dud would be our free safety, Eddie Jackson.
God damn it.
He hasn't. Everybody else is doing something. He ain't doing nothing, and we're paying him a shit ton of money. My stud is gonna go. Roshan. I'm gonna go with Roshan. He didn't get many handed the ball very much, but when he did, he made plays.
All right, Woody. We know who your stud is. It was JJ. Who's
Yeah.
your dud?
Well, he had to pick mine. I'm gonna go out and say, I'm gonna go out on a limb. My dud is our punt returner, Taylor. He had 1 punt return, no yards. That's the dud. He didn't have a yard. I don't care if it was a fair catch. He's got to run the ball. I don't give a shit. He's my dud.
And now you know how I feel because I always go last, and if I don't want to repeat, it makes it even harder for me to pick a stud and dud. So my stud is going to be Justin for that absolute dagger he threw at the end of the game, persevering through not 1 but 2 fumbles, and then kind of just control out the lead. It never happened, and he went when we needed it the most, and he executed. So that's my stud. My dud, I'd like to say Getsy, but I can't. So it's making it kind of hard. My dud is Ryan. I got it. My dud is Poles right now for not firing Getsy yet. Dude, rip the Band-Aid off. Just fire him already.
Yeah, we're in the bye week. Let's get it over
And
with.
we do have to work on the penalties, too. We've had way too many penalties in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, and I was going to mention that, too. A lot of penalties the last couple of weeks, offensive and defensively. Some have been very costly. Some, but look at that first penalty for no help for the helmet. Was that Brisker?
Ridiculous.
Like his face mask broke off. Even the comments like, dude, his helmet was broken. And that was just, and I guarantee you the NFL is not going to fine him. And if anything, they're say, when they come out, was it tomorrow? They come out with a week review of the week before. They're like that penalty on him was a bad call because his helmet busted. But my other stud will be Santos, I guess, because look at he nailed it, right? He screwed up the first one, but he redeemed himself like Fields, so we can go there too. He deserves a little bit of love in this.
He's my MVP.
Yeah, I think we're tied.
If he did make that first one, that last one wouldn't have mattered.
We're tied for first in the league in penalties. That's not a stat we don't want to be in.
And that's one thing Flus may get him fired. He does not take accountability for those players causing all those penalties. He just lets them shrug it off.
With the defense, look, we were like worst in the league on the rush last year. Now we're 1 or 2. We were 2 coming into the game. We might be 1 now. Yep. The defense went from the worst in the league to legit this season. So it's kind of, and the thing that I was saying in the back room main events chat is what people don't understand is Poles is not like your typical GM. Listen to his language. He talks about the language he uses will tell you a lot when he talks about, not accountability, but progression. He sounds like a certain GM that the Chicago Cubs had that built a World Series team. So as long as Poles is seeing the progressions and seeing the numbers go up and he doesn't even look at wins and losses. He's looking at all the other categories. Like we're dominating time of possession. We're dominant. Our defense is stopping, teams more. They're moving up on the rush defense. Offensively, the O-line protection time is up. The run game is up. He knows that Flus, being the head coach, that he's hitting those benchmarks. They may not be translating to W's yet. So now Poles goes, now it's my job to find you that last piece that now translates the L to a W. And I think that's the way he looks at it. I don't think Flus is gone.
I think if they would actually fire Getsky and bring somebody in and they have a good second part of the season, that's another reason Eberflus might get his job saved as well. So how the defense sucked with him calling defense, I think they would be both gone.
Oh yeah, gone.
So here's a question. Then I'll go to Mike the Bear fan this first. What do you think the odds are of by Sunday we fire Getsy and hire Reich to be the OC?
Me personally, I'd love it, but I really don't think they're going to get rid of him until the end of the season.
No.
Bear down, Mike. What do you think?
No, I think Reich already said he retired.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? What?
Yeah. I mean, he's getting $20,000 a day for the next 3 years.
Well, he said get that. If he takes the OC job, he's still going to get that contract.
Listen, if I was making $25 a day to retire for the next 3 years, I'm doing it.
Especially for $25,000 a year, I'm going anywhere.
I mean, look, it's a Jim Edmonds. Go back to baseball. It's a Jim Edmonds scenario. Jim Edmonds, when he played for the Cubs, they paid him the league minimum, but he was making like $14 million a year because he was still collecting on the contract from St. Louis and the contract from San Diego, who then cut him, and the Cubs signed him for the league minimum. It'd be a similar situation. Reich is going to get that money for the next 3 years, regardless of what he does.
Well, look at Bobby Bonilla. He's still getting money.
Yeah. For one, doesn't that contract end in 24 or is that 25?
26.
Okay. Yeah, $1 million a year. Bobby Bo did it right.
What about Ken Dorsey?
Oh no. That would be even worse.
But we definitely I don't know. I mean, we have fired coordinators in the middle of a season before. I mean, we did it this year with the DC. I don't know.
That was kind of
that was
a little more to it, but
that was Tillman with the FBI raiding this Halas Hall.
I mean, but look, I mean, still, it's not like the head coach thing where we don't let them go. We've let them go in the season before in the past. I don't know why. Maybe they just don't have someone they're comfortable to promote from within or otherwise. But at this point, with 30 screenplays where Justin Fields threw more passes for negative yards in this game than I think in the history of the NFL, you can't be an effective offense, especially when you get handed the ball 3 or 4 times in their territory and can't do and you don't do anything with it. And you can't just say penalties because there was a straight up 3 and outs because you couldn't move the ball.
Yeah.
Because they know you're just going to negative 3-yard pass it to DJ Moore.
Yeah. And they knocked the ball from Justin's hands almost 3 times. If he wouldn't have faked out that one, they knew it was coming. Like, I wanted to see at least like a fake wide receiver screen. Damn, come on, something different.
Yeah. Like when they did
that first quarter, they were throwing to Komet, they were getting positive yards.
Well, like the one play I don't get, it was trip receivers on the right. And you're thinking they're going to do some crossing patterns, maybe get someone free. No, minus 2-yard screen pass and Moore gets blown up.
Yeah, because they read the screens from before, and St. Brown couldn't get to the block as quick as.
Was that the one where Mooney got drilled?
He might have, but I mean, the play got blown up. Everyone knew it was coming.
Yeah,
I just don't get see, and it's sad. We should be happy. We got to win. We got a W. It didn't change our draft pick at all. We're still got the number 4 pick. I think it is. And we've got the number 1 pick. So it's great. You can get a W and not ruin your high draft pick status, which we seem to care a little bit more about in some ways, because we know the sad part is we're still technically in the hunt for the playoffs. But I mean,
that's wild to say, right?
If we would have beat Tampa Bay, we'd be in that last in the hunt team.
Yeah, I mean, so no, there was another 4-win team that's technically in the hunt, but it's like, we're not going to the playoffs, but we're the team that you don't want to. We could be the team you don't want to play if you have playoff hopes this year coming down the stretch. But the thing is, I don't get is why. It's almost like, are they sandbagging it? Saying, we're not going to do anything. We'll just let this roll, see what we can get, and then we'll unfurl the playbook next year. I mean,
if
is there a plan maybe that we just don't see? And Getsy's actually not as bad as we think.
Yeah, if we go into Arizona tied same record as them, we got to throw that game. They're ahead of us, and the Giants are ahead of us in the draft order right now.
Yeah, we can't let Arizona get Marvin Harrison.
Nope.
So let's look at the teams ahead of us right now. We got Okay, I don't think Arizona's going away from Kyler Murray. Anyone think Kyler Murray's gone in Arizona?
Paying him too much.
That's rough to say. I mean, they might get one for a backup. You never know.
Well,
Kyler Murray in the beginning of the year, they were going to go away from him, and then Dobbs got, traded to Minnesota and stuff. But they're going to. Kyler Murray's not their future. No way.
So maybe they are. Maybe they go for a quarterback then with the 2 or the 3 pick.
I don't know. He doesn't have any weapons.
And what about the Giants?
They're paying him a lot of money.
So both teams are in that situation. The Giants are paying Danny Dimes like $45 million. Kyler Murray is on a big contract. Now I don't know on the guarantees for either of those guys what the negative equity on releasing them would be. But those are the 2 teams really that the Bears would have to worry about right now taking Marvin Harrison, right? So I mean, the question is, would either of them take a quarterback? Because here's the scenario: we may have to use number 1 to get Marvin Harrison.
Yep.
Yeah.
If we don't take Arizona or New York, if the season ends today, and this is a draft order, do we have to use a number 1 to take Marvin Harrison?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I would trade our second pick.
Now, if we got New England behind us, they're going to take a quarterback. We need them to keep losing. New England.
They're done with Matt Jones, I think.
We need them to keep losing.
Zappy's not the answer.
And we need Arizona to win.
Yeah, Giants are going to get a quarterback because, I know Daniel Fumbles is hurt, but their backup's doing pretty good.
DeVito?
So, yep.
And that's the other phenomena. You got the Brock Purdy phenomena, because look at Purdy and San Fran, Mr. Irrelevant, the starting quarterback. Look what even happened with our team with Badgett. Teams are saying, I don't need a first-round pick quarterback to get good quarterback play. Okay, Cam says rumor in Arizona is Murray's all but done. So, look at if Arizona's taking a quarterback, cool. We don't have to take, now it's New York if the picks hold. If those 2 guys are going for a quarterback, we could trade out of 1 if we can get him at 4.
So who's going to trade up with number 1 then?
New England. Well, you know who else? Raiders. Raiders need a quarterback. But we're going to fall way back. That's the problem. We're going to fall way back.
Give us Max Crosby, and we'll give you number 1.
We all love that.
But if they did do that, we'd probably get a couple picks for sure out of it. Probably 2-1, drop down, then their first next year.
Yeah, like I said, we never know what these teams are going to trade up and get. I would just be the safer pick. If we're number 1, get who we want, get Marvin Harrison, and trade our second pick.
I agree. Even the value of the first pick is more than the 5.
I understand that, but the logic you got to think about is what team's going to get up and get which player. So,
well, for saying that, what do you think they're going to just move on from Mooney? Think this is Mooney's last year?
I think it is.
I think that's what I said in the beginning.
He's going to want to be a focal point somewhere, and I think he's going to go to Kansas City.
And Kansas City wanted him before the trade deadline.
Yep.
So we got 2 free agents really to worry about, right? We got 3 contracts to worry about. The first one we just talked about, we're talking about now, is Darnell Mooney. His value has probably been lessened over the last 2 years, right? Because the production numbers obviously aren't there. But people know because of what he did the 1,000-yard season, he can do it. He hasn't been an injury issue. He's not a penalty issue. He's a good locker room guy. The Bears have the money. Why not re-sign Mooney and make him part of a 3-headed monster if Harrison Jr. is your draft target?
Let's look at it. He's been a wide receiver 1 last year. He's a wide receiver 2. Is he going to take wide receiver 3 money?
I think he's.
I mean, the production's not there, but he has to get the ball first.
I think they'll give him 2. They won't give him the slot.
Yeah, Mike's right. You can give him 2 money because you're going to be paying rookie money on Harrison.
Yeah.
So that's 1 contract. The other
what do you do with Tyler Scott? Because he's kind of like similar build as Mooney.
Just to fill in.
Practice squad.
I mean, look at Scott. I think Scott makes the team as the 4th or 5th receiver.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I think St. Brown stays because he stays because of his blocking. And
I think Onion's gone.
Onion's on a 2-year deal.
Yeah, Lewis will be gone.
Lewis, you know what though? If Lewis wants to stay though, I'll give him another $1 million to stay in and block because he's done a phenomenal job when he's been in.
Yeah, we can all agree this. Velus gone.
Yes.
You know, I'd rather have Dante Pettis back than Velus Jones.
Man, who said that? Who said that in the beginning of the year?
That's why I said Woody did. But hey, we would have against you. We were right, you were wrong. But realistically, it's the other way around.
Yeah, you're kicking yourself in the ass for saying
contract. You got the Mooney contract that's going to be out there. You got the Jalen Johnson contract, which he shows why he should look. He was Woody's stud this week, right? And he's been the stud a couple times on this program. But the problem is 2 drop pick sixes.
Should have been.
And then a little bit of the ego attitude with the mouth when talking about his contract, then trying to demand a trade. Yep. I think that scared teams away from trying to trade for him. I think he lessened his value in that regard. But I think the Bears would be willing to re-sign him for good. He's like one of the best corner in the league. No, you're not, but you're probably the top 10.
Top 10 for sure.
And he knows that because every time he misses those pick sixes, you see his reaction. He knows his money, his value is going down because he can't complete them.
And we all agree Eddie Jackson's gone.
I think so.
Thank you.
I think he's gone.
I think he gets traded to the Raiders.
He's got another year left he's still got another year left on the contract after this?
Yeah, he's got one more year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it does. It's one of those. It doesn't hurt to keep him unless we get something in the draft that makes it worth taking dead money on him. I think he just plays out his contract in Chicago. So I think he'll be here because look, at worst case scenario, he's deaf because of the dead money anyway. So you might as well keep him. So the cost benefit might be to keep him because he does have an upside, and even if he's just deaf, it's still better than dropping him and paying the dead money.
Yeah, but you're paying him a lot of money to sit on a bench.
You're going to pay him a lot of money if you cut him.
They'd only lose about 5.5, 5.6.
I take the loss.
Okay,
but after June, it's 4.
So here's another question: if Bears had to do this, who would you think they would franchise tag? Jalen. Yep.
I would offer him $16 million a year for the next 4 years.
Because
I think that's his value
when you think about it, if you look at our open contracts, the 2 contracts that have to be dealt with are Mooney and JJ.
Mm-hmm.
The other
you got to think about Tevin Jenkins too.
Jenkins is still on a rookie deal.
Yeah, but he's going to want to get paid too next season.
Yeah, but he's a second-round pick, so next year is a contract year. So there are 2 that would. Okay, so Jenkins, you're looking at a possible extension ahead of the final season. And the other one I would do is Fields because, you've got 2 more years on a rookie deal, but I would do the extension now while he's cheaper. Like, look, if I'm Poles and I'm already committing that he's going to be my guy, I'm going to give him another 4 years or 5 years. Right now, Sport Track has him at $40 million. A year from now, that could jump to 50. Right? The way quarterback money's going.
Are you saying like a Jordan Love kind of deal?
Are you saying like a Daniel Jones deal?
Or that one?
No, Jones was 45. Sport Track right now has Fields at 40. So right now, if you were to sign him to an extension, it could become a bargain 4 years from now when he's got 2 years left. We should be making 60, at that point, who knows, he'll be 60. But he could be, a $50 million a year quarterback that we're paying 40. So, I mean, and you got the money because we got $100 million. And that's why I also don't worry about Eddie Jackson playing out his final year because now I've built in cap relief for the next year. Like if I can re-sign Mooney, extend Jenkins, extend Fields, and re-sign JJ, and I still have 10, 15 million on the table left to spend on free agency if I need to, then why not? Then Jackson just becomes a nice luxury I can carry for the season, and I know I'm going to get that 18 million the following year.
Yeah, he's a luxury, all right.
Yeah. So I mean, the only thing that would change my plans on that per se, because if you look at free agency this year, I mean, okay, what are our needs? Do we need a running back in free agency?
No.
I think we resigned Deontay Foreman. He's been solid. If
yeah,
anything,
and he's going to cost,
fine.
and he's probably going to cost you the same amount of money you paid this year, maybe a small raise.
Small raise. I
But-
give him a small raise just because of what he's done.
Right. So do we need to sign any new wide receivers if we're going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and re-sign Mooney?
No.
EQ maybe.
Yeah, I think EQ stays too.
You're gonna you're gonna give EQ his million. EQ is on $1 million deal. You're gonna keep. Yeah, I'm gonna make the assumption that we're gonna pay EQ 1.2, 1.3 like we did this year. Maybe a small raise.
What about that punt returner? What's his name?
Taylor.
Do we just let him go? I don't know what we have him for.
Special
He's
teams.
cheap. I'm looking at big money though, Mike. I'm looking for the big money.
Oh, okay. We're looking at big money.
Let's look at big money. And then you gotta look at. I'm looking at position, and then because we're looking at big money you could spend there. Offensive line. Are you gonna spend any more big money on offensive line signing?
No.
Because what's out there?
No.
Not much.
You got Charles Leno Jr. and Sam Mustipher out there.
Exactly. Now let's go to the defensive side of the ball.
Well, we all know what he wants Sam Mustipher back.
Oh yeah. Now here's where it gets interesting. You go to the defensive side of the ball.
Yannick.
Yannick's gone. Yannick. Justin Jones is gone.
No.
You've got Yannick who's gonna be a free agent because it's a 1-year deal. You've got Chase Young, who's gonna be up because he's playing out his final year of a deal. And who knows if San Fran's gonna have the money to re-sign, especially if they win a Super Bowl. But then Surtain, I wish he'd be up, but he's not. But we need an edge rusher, and there are some edge rush guys that you could spend money on. I think if we spend money and you look at what the possible free agents are going to be, that's where you do it. Because the draft doesn't have a lot of edge. Go ahead, Mike.
Or we trade that first pick if we can to get an edge.
So, yeah, I mean, but then you got to look at a team. If let's say you're the Raiders, are you trading Max Crosby for the number 1 pick?
You need a quarterback? That's the question. Do you need a quarterback? You think Aiden McConnell's your guy? Come on.
I'm with you, but
yes, they need a quarterback.
Does Mr. Davis let them pull the trigger on that?
I don't think you really have a choice.
Well, he's the owner.
You want a quarterback of your future, it's going to come at a premium. If he's this generational player, like everybody says he is, which I don't think he is, you're going to pay a premium for him.
Because let's look at the draft. Okay, well, let's take this a step further then, guys. Let's look at the potential number 1 trade out for a quarterback that we're going to get an edge rusher from that team that's worth it. Worth possibly passing on Marvin Harrison Jr. if we move out of the top 5 or 6 with that.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Who's worth the squeeze? I think Max Crosby, you can make the argument it's worth the squeeze if you get Max Crosby, and then you could possibly lose out on Marvin Harrison. That almost might be worth it, but okay, that's one trade partner. Now, who are the other trade partners that could be out there that have an edge guy that's going to be age-wise and money-wise where Poles is going to want to be, and they need a quarterback?
Well, here's another team. You guys think Pittsburgh believes in Kenny Pickett?
No.
Yep.
You think they do, Woody?
They already said it. Yep. He's our guy.
That's going to change.
Yeah, and they're not going to trade Bosa because that's what it would cost.
New York, they need a quarterback. Unless they roll with Tommy DeVito.
Well, but right now they're in the top. They're in the top 4 right now. They're going to get a quarterback if they want it. Jets.
You get Aaron Rodgers, but you're going to have that backup when Rodgers retires.
They got
yeah, but you're not going to sell the farm and draft the top 4 pick guy to sit behind Rodgers. I mean, the feeling in the NFL is if you draft the guy in the top 10 at quarterback, they instantly have to start.
Well, here's another team. Is Tennessee good with Will Levis?
I think they are.
Got that we could use though.
I think Tennessee's gonna take the trip with Levis. I think he's a guy who fell in the draft, and they probably got a bargain pick on him at quarterback.
What do you think the odds are with Jenkins playing when he's playing? He plays real good. Do you think they trade away Jenkins at the end of the year?
I would.
No. You know why? Because it hurts the continuity of the offensive line. Even though he's been out of it, it still hurts the overall continuity, and he is a beast when he plays.
Yeah, when?
What about Seattle? You think they're going to keep riding with Geno?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a big contract. And you can't trade it to Minnesota because we're not going to give them the pick.
So now you got New England needs a quarterback. Who else needs a quarterback? Tennessee, maybe.
I think Tennessee rolls with Levis, but you've got
they got to break that team down and start like what we did in the studs.
Arizona, New York, New England, all probably are going to be looking for quarterbacks. Maybe,
I think New England's probably our biggest trade partner. When you think about it, who they got on that defensive line that we could use? Yeah, that's the. But what about the Saints? Do they believe in Derek Carr? How much did Derek Carr get?
Ken does.
Carr got good money. I like Carr. I've always liked Carr.
I know you do. I know you do.
They're happy with Carr, I think.
He's not playing very well.
So the whole team, their whole team is up and down. They're a roller coaster. They've got some pieces, but like Cam Jordan's too old. Like we're not going to make a trade for him.
Yeah, Cam Jordan's really old,
but he's still really good. It's like
Buccaneers. They're looking for a quarterback.
What about what do you think about? Do you think Washington, even though he's leading the league in passing yards, is good with Sam Howell?
They like Sam.
As long as Ron Rivera is the head coach, yes.
Ron Rivera will be gone.
And here's another one. Atlanta, they're not happy with Ritter.
Yeah, but who they're going to give up for a number 1 pick?
Bijan?
Yeah.
No.
Drake London?
Yeah.
Dude, do the same thing we did to Carolina.
Kyle Pitts?
But I think we're going to find at the end of the year, Woody might be right. We might have to spend the number 1 to get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, if Carolina finishes last and we get number 1 pick, that would be the safe guy. Get Marvin Harrison. If we have to trade our 4th, wherever we land up, trade down so we can get more draft capital. That's my opinion, and I'm usually right.
He was right on 1 pick, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Right. Well, wait, I'll give Woody a chance to be right again. Okay, who wins this week, Woody? The Bears or the bye?
And by the way, he was wrong last week.
It's all right. I'm still number 1. But let's see. It depends. It depends if we play the deep. I mean, we gotta rush the bye week quarterback, and we just gotta stop the turnovers because that bye week their edge rushers are on top of it.
But Justin Fields is going to protect the ball this time. He's not fumbling on the bye week.
I say we win 14-10.
Where's John Dorn when you need him?
And Eddie Jackson gets an interception.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now you know it's good. I was going to say it's going to snow in Chicago, but it already is.
It's going to be a
warming up.
Close game, tie game.
Hey, it was like 50 degrees today. It was
so we're going
nice.
to be watching, obviously, the Lions. I
hope they get the shit kicked out of them.
Actually, you know what, though? I mean, I said this on the main event morning show. I said it Sunday or Monday night on what ended up being our pregame with the NFC North with them. I think we pulled the green on them. You know, they are who we thought they are. The Bears gave a better blueprint than what the Chargers did on beating this team. Then Green Bay took it and they beat them. I think when we play them, it's a winnable game. It'll be interesting to see how they play this week against the Saints, a team that they should beat. But the Saints can come and get you. You know, the Saints gave us every opportunity to win that game. You can't do that against Detroit because they will win. But I think, the word is out on Detroit. They're basically, their defensive scheme is what it is, and it's beatable. Which is kind of like their defense is akin to Luke Getsy right now. Very predictable.
Yeah. They can put some QB pressure, but their secondary, you can beat their secondary.
When we play Detroit in 2 weeks, we got to come out with that same game plan we did on the first one, but we got to finish it.
Yeah.
If we mix anything up and Detroit sees that, we're fucked.
We need to cover Amon-Ra St. Brown better.
We've seen two prime examples. Our game against them, and then the Vikings against us. The way they went to prevent at the end of the game. didn't pressure Justin in that final drive at all, and they let Justin carve him up. Plain and simple. They let Justin have the time and the to sit back and there's DJ, 30-some yards, game over. Thank you.
Well, there's not many teams out there that can stop St. Brown, but I do see what you're saying, Mike. But like I said, he's clearly, obviously, he's number one receiver, but there's not many teams out there that can stop him. That guy gets open, he has speed, and he'll sit in the middle of the field like that touchdown that he golfed through against us. He threw that ball where only St. Brown can catch the ball, and that was right in the middle of the end zone, right at the goal line.
So I would say we need to blitz more, I guess.
Yeah,
we got to get to Jared. But we have 2 sacks per game.
Yeah,
St. Brown is a hard man to stop.
But
we did great on the run game, right?
Yeah,
we stopped the run. What Monty had, 75 yards, a touchdown that killed us. Of course, former Bear does that. Who knew?
Doesn't it happen every time?
That's just like if we let Eddie Jackson go, he's gonna fucking kick our ass.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got some good things though from Monday night, guys. We got the W. The defense, I think, is looking more and more legit. I mean, but Dobbs did what I said he would do. He threw up some crap balls, and we took advantage, and the pressure made him throw up the crap balls. The defense is getting to be on point. Now we need the offense to catch up. And we also need Mike to do something else. We hit 10,000 on the page. Mike, you want to let everyone know real quick what the plan is?
Yeah, I made a post literally Monday and Tuesday. There's 2 different posts for 2 different giveaways. All you got to do is comment and answer the question. It's really simple, and you qualify to win Bears merch, which we're actually going to do since we have the bye week. We're going to do it Sunday morning. We'll do it live.
See?
And whoever wins, I'll send them the giveaway people, which is Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson.
See, Mike said Sunday morning, East Coast time. Nice. Fuck these all, man. You goddamn central pieces of shit.
I give up. No.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Hey, Mike. By the way, bear down, Mike.
Yeah.
Your Facebook.
You see that, Woody? It says CST, buddy. CST.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Change your Facebook settings so we all can be your friend.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you.
He said okay.
He's like, oh, it's Woody. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
If you don't have any mutual friends, he can't send the invite.
So 10,000, it's a big milestone considering how poorly the Bears have done this year and last year. And we've been steadily growing from next to nothing to over 10,000. So before we move on, I want to thank everyone out there for liking and following us on whatever platform you catch us, whether it be YouTube or Facebook. On Facebook, though, go to Mike the Bear Fan, like and follow. That's our main throughput place. And then, of course, we've got the YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. It all helps. I'd like to see you guys in the comments. Bear Down Mike can tell you what being in the comments a lot can do. We'd see him in the comment every week, and next thing you know, here he is with us now in the show, and we've been happy to have him. And we got that going on. So get on there Sunday before the game, Central Standard Time. We'll draw the winner.
Whatever.
I'm gonna say hello to Yoli there. Hello.
What's up, Yoli?
Good to have you on the show. Give us some comments about what you thought about the game Monday. We're talking about Monday Night Football victory and the Bears going forward. We've spent a lot of time on the draft tonight. Injury-wise, we're gonna get Tyreek. We should get Tyreek Stevens back, I hope. Love that kid. He hits like Sean Taylor to me.
Wow.
I think I like his quickness. I like Terrell Smith. I mean, he was nailing guys.
Yeah, he's a good rookie. That was a good pickup.
Smith. I mean, another pick from Poles late in the draft. That's it. I mean, there aren't too many picks for Poles that have not hit. He's got a very good track record. That's the other thing. With all the clickbait, all Poles is going to be gone. No.
Stupid
He
rumor.
won't be gone.
Like just based off his draft history, the guy should stay. Yeah, the Bears did good on defense. I don't think they did well.
We didn't whoop them, but I guess our kicker did.
Yeah.
Yoli and Green Bay did good too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's one of those situations where we're seeing progress. Poles isn't going anywhere. I don't think Foss, he's safe. Getsy's got the only commentator or talking head on TV that I've seen that said anything about coaching is Van Pelt, and he talked about Getsy, and
he's the only one on Monday night that picked the Bears to win.
Yeah. And I think he's the only one who said like Getsy's got.
Adam Rank as well. Adam Rank always picks the Bears. I got to ask you guys something. You guys watch TTNL?
No.
You know who that is?
Mm-mm.
I think you guys check it out. Tape Never Lies Network.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen them. Desmond Clark puts them on his page after the game. Yeah, I've watched.
Phil's a good guy. He goes off. I love that guy, man.
Yeah. I love watching those guys. This is the coaching problem. They're all about the coaching.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a funny thing. Like,
Nah,
KC's a pushover.
Yeah, we only lost by 40. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, KC, they're not the KC they used to be. But I mean, it's funny though because I started the show off talking about it. All the media links you see from CBS Sports, Sports Mockery, whatever. It's always about Poles is gone, Justin is gone, the Bears are moving on. These guys on some of these Bears pages, fellow fans, the Fields experiment is over. Fields is a bum. Get rid of him. No, it's how is it? Are there just that very few of us in this world that are enlightened to say no? It's a coaching problem, not a personnel issue.
Well, they look at blaming the players right away, and that's bullshit.
Why? Because it's easy clicks.
Yeah, we're not Aaron Rodgers here and calls our own plays all the time. So it's definitely a coaching issue.
Did you guys see on Monday when they were putting the video on Poles and he was doing this? It's like playing the same thing repeat. I think he was talking about the play calling.
That'd be cool.
I mean, you know what? It was I mean, it's just like I wish when you hear these guys too and these fan smart teams, they regurgitate the same talking points. Fields can't read a defense. Really? Do you watch him play at all? I see him read defenses all the time. I see him finding holes all the time.
Yeah.
I think he can read a defense. Every time he rolls out of the pocket, he's reading the defense for holes.
And if he can't, he can outrun them.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I don't know if you'd say if you're the smartest because you're the Packer fan, but that's brave to be the lone Packer fan out of 9 siblings.
Yeah, my brother's a Packers fan.
That's brave, Yoli. That's brave. So I'll give you the braveness. But look at the Packers. It's funny because they're in a situation where I thought they're going to be looking for a head coach, maybe looking for a quarterback, and maybe they're not now either.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur, he was staying there.
It's still up in the air about Jordan Love. He had one good game. Well, great game. He played us very well. It's because our coaches are idiots, like we've been talking about. He played the Lions great, but that's just one game. It's got to be consistent. I want him just to be good enough from them not to draft a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. And look, if they're not going to move up, and I don't mind Green Bay winning right now and just missing the playoffs and being outside of the top 10 in the draft because Green Bay does not draft well in the first round, anyways. And they're just going to make a stupid draft. They'll draft another tight end.
They don't draft offense in the first round.
Yeah, they're better in the mid rounds. I'll give them some credit. They're pretty good in the mid rounds drafting, but I mean, Green Bay's in the hunt. Who would have thought that? The Vikings are still in the hunt. We definitely didn't think that. The Bears were not as good as we thought we would be, maybe overall. However, that being said, we're not disappointed either, though, because we may not be getting the W's. We're seeing the progression and growth of the team right in front of our eyes, though. So, I mean, Woody, I would think that as a Bears fans, we're disappointed in not getting the W's, but at the same time, we're not upset because we're seeing progression. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you got to get wins to get in the playoffs. But like we all thought that it's a 2-year process, so we can't screw this up. Next year's our year to turn this around. I mean, I said this year we'd be 7-10, and I see us only getting maybe 2 more wins, maybe 3 out of the next 5, but I say 2. So we're going to be, we're going to double our progress from last year if we get to the 6 wins.
It's still progress.
It's still progress.
Yeah, I mean,
but see, this is another thing that gets me about Justin. Who has he beaten? A bunch of backups.
Vikings were the only team that we beat over 500 this year.
Yeah, so that makes me worried that he may not be here.
So beginning of the year, I said we'd be 6-9. With an outside dark horse, chance of being a dark horse for a wild card. It looks like we're gonna be closer to the 6 and the 9. Obviously, I get that with who Justin's beaten, but the other quarterback who he beats doesn't bother me. It's the defenses that matter, and he beat a Vikings defense that's been really good this year. He beat a Washington defense who had been really, really stout this year. He should have beaten a Lions defense, which up until recently has been really good. He should have beaten, and this was play calling and the coaching again. We should have beaten Denver, and their defense, their offense is finally catching up. That's why they're winning. Their defense was already pretty darn good. So he's done well. I mean, he played really well against a Tampa Bay defense, which was a situation where their defense was better than their offense, and once again, our inability on play calling. But he's played well against good defensive sides. I don't look at the other, who the other starting quarterback is, because he's not playing against that person. He's playing against Devin White at linebacker for Tampa Bay. He's playing against Cam Jordan. That's what I'm looking at. Like, how's he doing against better defenses? And he's done pretty well.
But that's not what they're going to be saying, though. He played well, but he didn't get the win. That's what they're going to. That's the narrative's going to
say, though, because
he played great. He threw for 330 yards, had 4 touchdowns, but guess what? They still lost. He threw an interception last minute, or he fumbled. That's going to be the narrative.
The other thing is that if we draft a quarterback, they comes in, what is this coaching crew going to do to that quarterback? We're going to be starting all over again, and I don't want to see that.
I really see no reason to get rid of Fields, because when I look at late game interceptions, whether it be Cutler, Romo, Dak, Fields, whomever, you're down a score or 2, and there's not much time. Defenses know what you're going to do. So, get an interception when you're trying to force the ball downfield because you have no choice but to. Blame the quarterback if you want. Fine. The fumbles, I can lay a little more blame on, but then I also have to look at the fumble. Was it just where he just blatantly had no control over it, did something stupid, or the defense just make a good play? Punch that ball out, hit it with the helmet, do what, what contribute, because you look at polls and these guys, that's what they're looking at, right? What was the situation? What contributed to these types of things? Whereas the guy who writes the headline for CBSSports.com or Sports Mockery, he doesn't need to worry about that. He's just going to write whatever bombastic thing. Fields is a fumble machine. Bears to move on. When that's not even what polls is looking at.
Would you guys be surprised if they moved on?
Very surprised.
I would.
Yeah, I will. I'm still I'm still rooting for Justin. I want him to work out. But I'm just saying, we're noticing a lot of things. I've been opening my eyes and watching who he's been playing, how he's been playing. It still has me concerned. We got 5 games left?
Yep.
Yeah.
These 5 games matter. If he goes against Detroit and plays like he did, the last game, he's going to be fine. He's got to beat these teams.
But look at the fumble in Detroit. Was that his fault?
No, that was Darnell Wright's fault.
No, that wasn't his fault. No.
But these were these guys are saying, well, look at the Detroit game. He cost it because he got hit from the blind side on a strip sack. That's not his fault.
Yeah, he just got the ball. He couldn't even get to his progression.
He had the ball 1.5 seconds before he got hit. I mean, Darnell Wright's got to learn how to kick the ball too.
Yeah,
he wants to be our next kicker.
So these are the things that make me believe when we actually look at it, he's not going anywhere, and the Bears are happy with actually even the interior on the defense. Man, those guys look what happened when we made the trade. Also, the sacks have been coming from the interior mostly. Sweat got one, but who's getting the pressure? The guys in the middle, who some people say, "Oh, these guys are gone." Well, they're most. We drafted some rookies there. And now they're getting pressure and they're getting sacks. The run production of opposing teams is horrendous. That D line, those interior guys, they're not going anywhere. The only question mark is, do we re-sign Yannick, or do we draft someone? The only question on the Bears defensive line right now is, do we re-sign Yannick? Do we maybe get a Chase Young if he's available, or are we drafting someone? That's the only question on the D line right now.
Well, Brian Burns is a free agent. I would go after him.
How old is he?
27? No, 26, 27.
Well,
so he's on the edge.
Coles is on the edge for that one.
But still, the focus is still the same, Mike. Right? The focus is going to be the complementary edge rusher to go with Montez Sweat. The fans in our division and some of these clickbait writers and the cowards of the world, they're going to see all the clickbait. What now?
Brian Burns.
That's a possibility then.
Yeah, but you're going to be paying a lot.
But I think we're okay with paying a lot. Because I think we're okay with that because that's the final piece on that D line, and that D is solid then.
I think we let Justin Jones go because he's not doing much.
See what I like.
We're not even seeing Zach Pickens. Why aren't we seeing our rookies more?
Well, I liked Dexter. I liked when we played Detroit, the interceptions that we have. 2 of them were off tip passes from the interior line.
Yeah,
that's what I like. They're starting to get their hands up if they can't get to the quarterback. But there's some times that we have to get to the quarterback, but if you can't, put your hands up, and that's what happened with those interceptions.
And Dexter's name's getting called on the telecast a lot more lately.
Yep. And Brisker got a sack Monday.
Yep.
A half a sack, I think, with Montez.
Yep.
I think when we play the Lions, I want to see Brisker get to Jared Goff.
That's what we got to do. That's when we played Detroit. Branch was all in that backfield. All over the place. Do a safety blitz. Do a corner blitz. Mix it up. Don't play that soft defense we play all the time.
I think defensively, like I said, we're tracking and trending to be a top-tier defense, top 10 defense. Offensively, I think we've got a lot of the personnel. We just have a shitty scheme and bad play calling. And unfortunately, Fields going to end up with his 4th OC in 4 years next year.
Yeah. We just need to be a functional offense. That's it. We could be top 15, and I'm fine with that. Justin doesn't have to be throwing 300-400 yards. He could throw for 250, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and I'm okay with that. As long as our run game is still there and we're efficient and we're not so conservative. That 4th and 10 was ballsy.
Is Whitehair under contract next year still?
Yeah, he's got 1 year left.
1 year left, and I don't know what the cap is. I'm fine with him staying. I think if the Bears, I think right now, if you can resign everyone that's on the Bears offense, pretty much, you do it. If anything, you draft more O-line depth. So, because
that's what I was saying with our 4th pick is O-line.
Yeah. But with the 4th overall pick, though, right now, if there's an edge rusher you can justify with it, you do it, and then maybe you don't spend the money. Or you do as Woody said, you move back if there's an edge rusher you really like, and you think you can move back to 12 or 15 and get him, then you trade the 4 out. But and look at trading the 4 out, you can still get a first. You're gonna move back and get a first rounder next year. That's kind of the going rate, right? So that's a good scenario, Woody. I think you could be right on that. Use number 1 for Harrison Jr. and then trade back and maybe get an edge.
And we'll probably still be in the top 10 for our second pick. Definitely. That would be a smart thing to do.
And maybe pick up another second rounder for this year too, because we traded the one away for Sweat. So there's some possibilities here. So we got the bye this week. We'll do pregame, I guess, Sunday. Then we go, as we're talking, Detroit at home. I think Getsy will be okay against Detroit because every time he gets a mini bye or something like that, he comes out prepped pretty well the next game.
Now you're comparing him to Andy Reid. Calm down now.
I know. It's sad. I mean, what do we think about – I mean, we can get into it a little bit. We don't want to steal next week's show, but what do we think – if everything stays as is, what do we think about our chances against Detroit?
If we can do the same thing, but we got to keep our damn foot on our damn throats.
Yep.
Stop being so damn scared of turning over the ball. Run that damn ball outside. Get Justin running. We got to do the same game plan.
I think we should learn off, like I said, with Minnesota, when that last drive, they played soft, like we do the whole second half.
Yeah.
Still, defense, keep coming.
This is the first game I've seen we rechanged. We were still attacking. Yep. We haven't seen that all year. We were aggressive in the first half, second half, we got our asses kicked.
Well, let's see if the offense can move it. I think they just gotta let Justin. I still go back to. It seems like forever ago when we had Chase Claypool on this roster, but
he ain't doing shit in Miami.
Who? I think he was right though, and that came on the heels of Justin making some comments that he later walked back. But honestly, I still hold those comments. Claypool. Look, the only reason he's not in Chicago is those comments. We know it. Week 1, you can talk about all you want, but I'll give him credit. He came out and said, I dogged it. I played like crap, and he was good in week 2 and 3. And then he said what he said, and he was gone. And as a receiver, when you get traded, it's always hard when you get to the new team, playbook and whatnot. But I think, he was on the money. This offensive play calling, I want to see dramatic improvement in this game with the Lions. Or Getsy's got how many more weeks is he going to give him?
He should have been already fired. Come after the game, enjoy your time, get home, you're done. That's how it should have went down. Tuesday morning, hey, Luke, it's been great. We loved having you here, but we decided to move on.
That's too much information. I would keep the love out and say I'm sorry, but the last 2 years you fucking suck.
You're not gonna say that.
I'm just doing. Hey, I'm just pretending on what I would do. Yeah. And I usually hold back a lot. I usually don't say what's on my mind or anything like that. But that's what I would say.
We appreciate you were here, but we're moving on.
God, I see you're being too nice.
Yeah.
You're
firing guy.
You're still gonna get paid. Hey, Luke, thank you for your service. You're no longer needed.
Yep, there you go. Sorry, Luke. I'm not your father. See you the fuck later.
You're gutless. Get the fuck out of my building.
There you go. That's something I would say.
Yeah, that's about it.
Gutless.
Well, hey, fellas. I'm going to be watching games this Sunday. Any games in particular you're looking at for Sunday?
Let's see here.
I would love for the other two teams just to lose, and we're the only team that wins. That'd be nice.
Let's see what game I'll be watching.
I'll probably be watching the Saints and Lions game just because I hear Russ and Mike fucking ramble all the time. Today was a Lions Wednesday.
The game I'll be watching. 49ers whipping that ass this Sunday.
Eagles. 49ers Eagles.
And then I'll probably be watching the 8:20 game, the Chiefs-Packers game at Green Bay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Packers are ready. They're gonna win. According to John Gordon, they're gonna kick their ass.
I usually, if the Bears aren't playing, I usually watch the Red Zone channel the whole time, but I'll be focusing them on the late games.
Yeah, in the early games,
they all suck.
For early games, you've got Broncos at Texans. That could be a fun game. Because Texans are in the hunt. They're both 6-5. Cardinals at Steelers.
That's gonna
Chargers
be boring.
at Pats. Colts at Titans. Dolphins at Commanders.
That'd be boring.
Yeah, that Chargers Patriots game in New England. Watch, that could be a totally different game than what you'd be thinking.
Really?
Just keep an eye. Yes. Just
okay.
I
haven't they fired Brandon Staley yet? That's what
I like Justin Herbert, but even though Patriots are 2-9, they're hungry every week. Might not show it, but they could upset San Diego, or I'm sorry, LA.
The mid games, the second games, only 3 games on the slate. Really, Panthers at Bucks, Niners at Eagles, or I'm sorry, I gotta say it right for Woody, at the Sheagles. And then you got Browns Rams. Those are the mid games. I mean,
that Browns Rams, that wouldn't be too bad.
That one could be
favorite at home.
Yeah, that one could be worth watching. I mean, Niners Eagles is a marquee game. Chiefs at Packers could go either way.
No
and
thanks.
Then Monday for me is a stinker.
That's
Bengals
not either way. I think Jordan Love's gonna throw 3 picks against KC.
Bengals at Jags on Monday night is almost, Bengals that's the late game. No, Monday Night Football is the Bengals and the Jags, which at the beginning of the year before Week 1 was played was that's gonna be a fun game. Now,
yeah. With Joe Burrow being out, it's boring.
But I am looking forward to the Niners beating up the fucking Sheagles.
Yeah. I'll probably be red zone in most of the early games, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's about, I mean, hoping the Buccaneers kick the shit out of the Panthers. They're playing at home at Tampa.
That should be a problem.
So, yeah, I would think the only 1:00 game would be interesting to me is the Lions-Saints game.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I'll be watching.
That's in NOLA, right?
That's NOLA, yeah. Yep.
Dude, that stadium is loud. Forget Ford Field loud.
Yeah, they're both used to that. So,
yeah.
They're probably going over their hand signals now, but the Lions are only favored by 4. So,
New Orleans their Saints are just up and down. They're good one week, they suck another.
They're like the Lions in the 80s.
Right.
I mean, the Lions in the 80s would come in one week and take the best team in the NFL and throw them around like they were nothing. And the next week they play the worst team in the NFL and get destroyed. It's like, I mean, I think they play to the level of the competition. They play at the level of whoever they're playing, it seems.
Right.
Because I like Carr's quarterback. He's a solid quarterback. He's going to win you games.
Man, the Sheagles got 2 tough games in a row. Then they play at Dallas the week after.
Who's Dallas playing?
Tomorrow or this Sunday? The Seahawks.
Oh,
that could be a good game.
That's a redemption game for Seattle.
That's
they got their ass kicked by 49ers.
Oh, there's 2 8:00 games Sunday.
Really?
Yep. Seahawks and Cowboys are at 8:00. Wait up. No, they're playing tomorrow. I'm sorry. That's tomorrow night's game. Dallas is favored by 9.
Wow.
I want to see in the play. You know what I want to see in the playoffs? I want to see in wild card weekend Dallas against Detroit.
Well, they play later on this year.
Later in the season.
They do, but if you know the Lions and their history, for whatever reason, they always get stuck with Dallas. Their last playoff win was against Dallas. Their biggest playoff heartache was also against Dallas.
And then Dallas is undefeated at home.
Make it happen.
So,
NFL.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Get that script ready.
Yeah, get the script ready.
Yeah.
So, and who knows whose hopes and dreams the Bears might shatter as we go through the remainder of our season. Fields is not going anywhere. I think this team is pretty solid. We're like one or two players away in a coaching change in on the offense, and I think we're going to be a lot better next year.
Yeah. You know what would be perfect for the Bears to end the season? To beat the Packers to ruin their chances of going to the playoffs.
Wow.
Well, that'd
be nice.
That could be a flex game. I think that game could get, if the Packers look, it's going to be like, if it's a situation like it was last year with the Lions and the Packers, right? That whole situation. If the Packers have to beat the Bears to get in, coming in, after week 16, or no, it's week 17. That's week 18 now, right?
Week 18.
So after week 17, if the Packers win and get in, that game, I guarantee you, is going to be a flex game. Because not only is it a winner get in, but Bears-Packers, oldest rivalry in the league, with a Bears team that's a lot better than it was in week 1, with a chip on its shoulder to keep its biggest rival out. Tell me they don't flex that game.
I know. We don't have any more primetime games.
Nope.
Well, that would be it. That would be the flex.
Which is shitty because I think we're 5-4 on primetime games.
Yeah, we're good on primetime, but I think that's a flex. That's a game. The week 18 game could be a primetime. It could get flexed.
Primetime game. Hey,
yeah,
I got a chance to win.
I think we'd have a good chance of winning that game. The way the defense is going.
I still think we could beat them.
Is that the only game where you can get flexed, Woody?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think
so
too.
Yeah, because we haven't heard anything about the Cleveland game. That's still to be determined, right?
I don't know. No, I don't think that'll be. I don't think that'll be a flex game.
No. Well, they didn't have a time when they were playing, or
what, the Cleveland game?
Yeah.
That just says Sunday, December 1st. That doesn't give me a time.
Yeah, it said TBD.
Let me see if I try to buy tickets. What it says. Nope, time TBD.
Yeah, so we don't even know what we're playing then.
And that's in Cleveland. So we've got the Lions, which will be a noon game. They'll keep it. The December 17th against the Browns, that could flex.
Well, if we beat the Lions coming out of the bye, if they wanted to, they could throw that in prime time. Because think about it. Who was Justin's first game against? The Browns, where he got mauled by Myles Garrett because Nagy, the idiot, trusted 40-year-old Jason Peters to block Myles Garrett.
No, nobody can block Myles Garrett this year. I think he's 13 and a half sacks.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah,
well, we wouldn't give that guy
as long as he doesn't take Justin Fields' helmet off and hit him with it.
Oh yeah, who did he do that? Rudolph, right?
Yeah,
in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Damn.
Actually, you know what's funny? Week 18 was originally a noon game at the beginning of the year. It is now TBD.
So the week before, mostly all the 1 o'clock games are TBD'd. All the 4 and 8 o'clock games are set.
I think we could get flexed week 18. Who knows what the Browns? Because after we go to the Browns, we got Arizona at home. That's a 3:25. Then we got a noon game at home against the Falcons, which could be interesting playoff implications, and a revenge game from last year when we lost by 1 point. And then we got the final game of the year, week 18, against the Packers.
Yeah, all the games in week 18 are TBD.
Oh,
yeah, because they're waiting to flex.
Yep.
You said all the Sunday. What's the Sunday night game on week 15?
Week 15?
Yeah.
Is that the Cardinals game?
That's the Browns.
Browns?
Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe the Browns game gets flexed. I highly doubt it, but that Packers game most definitely.
I got a feeling that Browns game is going to be a noon game.
Yeah, because all the 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock games are set. So I see that game staying at noon.
And that's in Cleveland, right?
Yep.
Yeah, in Cleveland. So Green Bay is really the only opportunity for a flex.
We got Detroit at home, We got Arizona at home.
The remainder of the schedule was
Falcons are at home.
Detroit at home, Cleveland away, Arizona at home, Atlanta at home, and end the year in Lambeau. So we've got 5 games left.
And the way
you said 2, Woody. Which 2 do you think we win?
I say Arizona and maybe Atlanta, but I watched them play this week with Bichon. Holy shit.
I mean, Arthur Smith is actually playing him?
Oh, my God.
He had 125 yards, right?
See the highlights of his game on Sunday.
Yeah, but what are we good at?
He had his I think 1 or 2 touchdowns via pass.
Yeah.
All right, so Woody, though, you're going with a 2-game win streak possibly for our 2 games being Arizona and the Falcons. Mike, what about you?
Oh, I think we beat Arizona, we beat Falcons. You gotta beat. Are we just going for those 2 games?
No, we got the remaining 5.
5 games.
Detroit, Cleveland.
We lose to Detroit. I think we lose to Detroit because
Cleveland
coaching again. And who we play after that?
Cleveland at Cleveland.
We'll lose because that defense is a monster.
Yep.
I think that's going to be a low-scoring game because their offense sucks.
And then we got Arizona at home.
We'll beat Arizona.
We got the Falcons at home.
We'll beat Falcons.
And then at Green Bay.
You got to win that Green Bay game. You got to stop that this fucking Green Bay owns us and Jordan Love is our new daddy bullshit. You got to stop that.
For me, if what we talked about earlier with the Lions, if we come out and we punch them in the face and keep our foot on the throat the whole game, that can be a win. I think we lose to Cleveland because Myles Garrett, their offense sucks. It's gonna be a close game, but I think we may lose it.
We're gonna throw 36 screens that game.
Okay,
I think we beat Arizona. Atlanta's a toss-up, and we got to beat Green Bay.
Well,
I got us winning 3.
You got to think Atlanta, though. It's going to be cold.
Atlanta, for me, is a toss-up.
It's going to be cold.
And they're used to playing in a dome.
Absolutely.
So, okay, so if I go with that, let me remember that. These last
then that's the same thing for Detroit, too, then.
Look, if we go 4-1, and look at any given Sunday, I think this Bears team can do it. But, okay, let's look at this. The Lions, we all said if we have a game like we had against them last time and don't take our foot off the gas, that could be a W. There's your 1. We all kind of said Cleveland's going to be a game that we're probably going to lose because their defense, but it'll be a close game. Okay. Arizona, we all said we'd win that game. Atlanta, you guys both said we'd win. I said, well, toss up. They go, well, they're not going to be able to run. They're a dome team, not used to the cold weather, give the advantage of the Bears. Okay. Well, now I'm at 3-1 of the 4 of the 5 final games, and then Green Bay. I don't care what we think. We have to beat Green Bay, especially if it's keeping them out of the playoffs. Right there's winning 4 of your last 5.
So we go 8-9.
Isn't that where you want this team to be with the season it's had to end hot like Detroit did last year?
If we go 8-9, we overachieve.
Yeah, but again, when you say games, you can't say if we play like this, if we play like that.
You got to remember.
Yes or no?
If we go 8-9, we're not going to have that 4th round pick.
We're still going to have a top. We're still going to have like a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
or right around there. But
we got Carolina. What we got to worry about is Carolina.
Yeah,
we look at our last 3 games. We beat the Panthers. We lose the Lions in a game we should have won. We beat the Vikings. Now let's go back. The Saints game, we should have won that one. The Chargers game, we just didn't show up.
Nope.
The Raiders game, we win. The Vikings game, when Fields got hurt, 19-13 was that game.
But you got to think, though, Fields was doing shit that first half anyway.
The Commanders game was like, oh, okay, here we go. To start off the winning. Let's look at the Broncos game, 31-28, we lost. We should have won that game. The Chiefs game, we got blown out. The Bucs game was terrible play calling, but we were in it for most of the game. And the Green Bay game was first half was good until Jones took over the second half. So we're not a terrible team. We've been in games, we hang tough, and we've seen this team progress and get better. So winning 4 of the last 5, or as it will finish out, if we win 4 of the last 5, then we'll say, actually, no, we won 6 of the last 8. That's a good way to go. Now, if we win 2 of the last 5, then I think we're a lot worse off for next year than we think.
But you know what that means too?
Not by draft. Not for the draft, it's not.
You know what that means too?
That
means Getsy might be staying.
Well, that's the other thing. But I mean, if you look at this honestly,
I like that.
I mean, if you look at this honestly, if you look at these last 5 games, the Bears could win 4 of the 5.
Could. We'll probably go 2 and 5, but
they could go. Here's the thing with this team. Realistically, this team could go 5 and 5, 4 and 5, or 2 and 3.
I care about just beating the Packers. That's all I care about.
I don't think you go 1 and 4. I think 2 is your worst case scenario.
Yep.
But you could win 4 or 5 games out of the last 5. I mean, if you look at how we've been playing and the schedule, they could.
Yeah. Realistically, maybe 7 would be 7 and 10.
And it'll snow the panhandles.
I mean, if we get to 6 wins, we've doubled the win total. We're probably happy there too. But I'm just saying, like what he's saying too, he's being conservative.
Yeah.
And I see it, but yeah, I mean they could. I mean, the hardest game of all of these is Detroit.
See, this is how this. I was thinking. I just thought about this. What if Carolina won 2 more games and took us out of that first pick? That eliminates the whole Justin thing, right? And let's say New England gets that first pick.
Well, not according to the sports writers and CBS and ESPN.
They don't know, because the script.
Yeah,
they're like us, but they get paid.
That would eliminate the Justin Fields talk, because we know Justin's better than Drake May. Justin's a hell of a lot better.
We ain't getting another North Carolina quarterback.
Yeah.
That's 5'4".
Oh, so another fucking Bryce Young.
Yeah, I don't think we're going quarterback. I think we would still try to get Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't think we would trade up to get him. And if he's gone, then there's some other receivers out there. I think receiver is our first pick.
Any wide receivers in the free agent market that's besides Mooney that I know of? Like any top end? Because there may be a chance we don't get Marvin Harrison. If we're going to take him, we need to take him with the first pick. That's it.
Yeah.
If we know the person behind us is taking, let's say it's Arizona. As it sits right now, it's Arizona. They may not take a quarterback. They might get a weapon for Kyler.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Anybody. And even New York, with Jones under contract, they may just stick him out for another year. And
and let's get him a weapon.
Yeah, exactly. So I think
they need a weapon too.
Yeah.
And you know what though?
Who's their number one? Darius Slayton? Is that their number one?
And Sterling Shepard.
Oh God!
We got a few months. We got a few months to ponder that.
Darren Waller.
Hey, we'll trade. Valus Jones will be the number one.
Oh
yeah, there you go. We've got a few months to ponder that one. But guys, last 5 games, we could win anywhere from 2 to 5.
No, well, and it'll snow in the panhandles.
It has done that since I've been here once.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get off of here.
My kid got at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch it.
We yet again went almost 2 hours, guys.
Yeah,
we're an hour and a half, gents. Hey, we could sit here and talk Bears football all night. You know it, I know it. People at home know it. We just like to talk Bears football. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Remember to go to Mike the Bear Fan. Give us a like and follow. Give us that subscribe button on YouTube. Go ahead, click it. It's right there, right? Go ahead, click it. Leave us comments on the page, comment on the post, share the post. Let us know what you're thinking, because we try to drive some of the show off of what you guys say during the week too. Come on the show, give us your comments. We like to take your comments and talk about them with you and do a little back and forth. Thank you, Yoli from the Packer Fan, for coming on tonight, leaving some comments. John,
thank you.
John Dorn even. Got me some John Dorn. Adrian West. thank you all for coming on and leaving comments today. We will be on Sunday, 11:30 Central.
You suck.
Yeah, 11:30.
12:30 for those who suck
too.
on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
But consider this the Bears fan show for a team that's in the Midwest, in the city of Chicago, which is Central.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say 11:30 Central. We'll see you Sunday. Yep, there you go. Enjoy the rest of your week. If you're up north, stay warm, stay dry. Don't be careful on the roads with the snow and ice. I'll be safe here in Florida on the dry roads with my motorcycle. But until Sunday morning, be safe and see y'all later. Bear down.
Bear down. See you guys.
See you.
Thanks everyone for sticking around for the full 1 hour and 37 minutes of the Halas Hall Report. Hey, leave your comments. Like I said, give us those likes and those follows. Share the shows with your friends. Let them see it. Discuss. It's been rough here. Hopefully we'll get better. But thank you for everyone for making this show what it is. And again, for 10,000 on Facebook. We still need the help, though, on YouTube. And we'll see you around next week. Be safe. Bear down.